Step 1, how AI actually works. Now, this is going to be a gross oversimplification of the way that AI works, because you don't need complicated. You need clear, and you need what is relevant to you. So that's what we're going to cover. It's a pattern recognition machine. The programming is such that they don't think more than a word in advance. They use context and they use patterns. So when it's trained on certain information, that means it's trained on certain patterns. It generates word by word. Whatever word it thinks fits the pattern best to go next is the word that it comes up with. It's not a fact generation machine, and it does not copy facts from elsewhere. What it does is it uses context and guesses. Well, no, it doesn't guess. It uses context and whatever word fits best in the pattern next. This is why you hear so many stories about AI making up facts. It's not a search engine. It's not a fact finding piece of software. What it is a pattern recognition and replication piece of software. So all of its sentences are generated, not retrieved. In essence, everything is made up. In fact, you would have noticed with the current update, it is almost impossible to get it to quote any body of text. And this is why so many people run into issues with it, because it's very good at approximating a human conversation, because that's what we do. After all, we build a sentence word by word based on an idea that we're having. But funnily enough, this is actually the reason why it can't perfectly mimic human conversation, because we stuff up all the time. We don't use the perfect word in each sentence. We don't use the perfect word structure in a sentence. We do not use a perfect sentence structure in any conversation that we're talking about, but AI does. And that perfection sounds right when you're reading it, but then it trips over into this like uncanny valley territory in your mind. And then it goes straight, and then your brain trips over that and then goes straight into critical thinking mode of this is not real. And then the brain decides, is every piece of information here something that I want to bring in or not? At this point in time, AI cannot mimic human conversation perfectly. And, in a couple of years, it might be able to, and this masterclass will eat itself. But at this point, we were talking about that shifting point of what AI can do and what humans have to do. At this point, AI cannot have a human conversation. It cannot generate facts. It creates patterns. It creates structure, and that's what we use it for. And there are two things that you need to know about AI within this functionality. And the first is that, let's go back a step. The purpose of any website, of any application, of anything that is on a screen is to keep you on the screen. It's to keep you in the program, because your attention is essentially what pays these companies money. So AI isn't ever deliberately trying to F you up because it wants to keep you on the screen. It is constantly trying to figure out what role to take with you. If you're getting a bad response, it's because you're giving it a bad prompt, because it is constantly trying to give you what you want. So the second thing you need to know about this is, because it is always trying to keep you on the platform, it is always, always, always going to try and make you feel good. It is your cheerleader. It is kissing your butt to make you happy. Now, we like to hear nice things. Where did that spring go? Oh. And the second thing that you need to know is that AI is always going to try and make you happy. You know, it wants to keep you on the site, so it wants to keep you feeling nice. Now, it's nice to hear nice things, especially about our writing. You know, our creative little egos like encouragement. But you'll be cutting your book off at the knees if you only get positive feedback. So remember how I said it's always trying to find the right role? With you, you can tell it what to do. I like to add a little something to my prompts. Something along the lines of, I'm going to read this one out to you. You are not my friend. You are my world-class mentor, who does not pull punches because they are committed to helping me produce a world-class piece of literature. You give credit where it's due, but never sugarcoat a hard truth. Now, every prompt that I mention is going to be in the PDF that's attached to this somewhere. So don't get bogged down about trying to remember exactly the prompt that I give you, because I'm going to tell you how I build them, and I'm going to give you a list of all of these. So now you know how AI works. Let's move on to step 2, common misconceptions.